Hey, how was your day? Hopefully, it was great. It's so good to see you. I haven't really gotten a chance to get settled for the night, but here we are, and we're doing this because this is day two, right? Yesterday, I remember that when I was recording this, I was so, like, recording an episode. I was so nervous on making sure that I said the right things, that I had the right kind of message, that I was, just focused on doing the right thing in order for you to like me, in order for you to stick around and find a reason to subscribe or like or, to keep watching. And after posting yesterday's episode, and I don't even know if I like calling it an episode, but after posting yesterday's video, I sat in reflection and I thought for a pretty long time about how I felt submitting or publishing the video, how I felt um, doing the video, and how I was feeling after the fact. And I realized that there was so much that I was doing to appease and people please for people that I don't even know yet. I have no idea who the audience specifically will be. Like, I know that in general, I'm wanting to be of service to people who are in recovery or in sobriety, who are working through sobriety, as I am myself, but I don't know who I'm specifically talking to. And all of this work of trying to get people that I don't even know to like me is more than exhausting. It's just unnecessary. So I reevaluated how I necessarily wanted to approach this, in a sense that I didn't need it to be something where it's like, hey, look at me and I'm so perfect at what I'm talking about. This is instead an opportunity for me to kind of like take off the veil and not only just offer things for you, but offer things for myself. Because that's really what it boils down to, is knowing that we are all in this together. Knowing that all of us, in some way, shape, or form, chose and directed for our life path to include addiction because we knew that it would bring us closer into loving the self. And as we continue navigating that journey, it can feel so isolating and so ostracizing because we don't it's, at least for me, it was difficult to acknowledge or to point out the people who were doing the exact same thing, or not necessarily doing the exact same thing, but who understood what it was like, who could relate in the feelings and the experiences that I had had while in active addiction and while I was choosing sobriety. Going to 12 step meetings and going to other sobriety support systems, I see that they work for so many other people, but I think what I was really looking for when I started those meetings was community. And I think that by just showing up here, I'm able to start a community of my own. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. It just has to be me being vulnerable and checking in, because hopefully you're in a space of wanting to check in with somebody too, and hoping that that person you check in with will see you and validate you right where you are without pushing or straining or pulling you in a direction that you don't have any desire to go into. So, overall, today felt like I was so conflicted. I, I, you know, as I mentioned, I did this video and I did the video yesterday and I was so like on the fence about it. And then out of the blue, like through the rest of the day, I started to feel so much doubt and insecurity about what I was doing. I started to question the validity of my expertise and my my experience. And I even started to question if what I was doing um, would make any impact or if I was worthy enough to do it. Where I just simply thought that I was wasting my own time. And I pulled cards and I really just started spiraling. And all the way up through today, I was still stuck in my head of thinking the worst. I was contemplating what choices I was making. I was internalizing all of the things that people had said to me up until this point. And not just about, what's going on in my personal life, but more so I was internalizing the comments that I've had on videos in the past about my relationship to 12-step programs and sobriety programs as a spiritual, metaphysically inclined person. And I walked into a metaphysical shop and I realized it wasn't that I realized, it was more so that there was an energy shift. And because I was desperately searching for an answer, I was desperately searching for an outside source to tell me how I was supposed to show up because I couldn't figure it out on my own. And I think what's so interesting is, as I'm saying this aloud, I find the parallels between what a lot of 12-step programs and sobriety programs often reiterate is that we we say that we become sick and tired of being sick and tired, where we are desperate to find an answer, searching for something outside of ourselves to give us peace and resolution. And then they acknowledge that there is the connection to a power greater than ourselves to bring us to sanity, right? And while I could talk about how I feel specifically about bringing us to sanity and what that really means for us, I rather would focus on the the turn inward, the turn to the higher power moment. Because today I really just started to say in my mind and somewhat out loud that I could not do this by myself. I could not figure out what direction I was supposed to take. I Even though I had read tarot cards for myself, it felt like I wasn't getting any kind of clear answer because I was too caught up in the spiral. I was too caught up in trying to prove myself to other people, again, to my own detriment because I don't know these people that I'm proving myself to. But I was trying to figure it all out, and my brain just couldn't do it. I was like, I give up. And so I go in this metaphysical shop and I get to the point of just letting go, of just I didn't really know what I was looking for in that shop. I just was like, maybe it'll pop out for me. Maybe I'll see something, a necklace or a bracelet or a stone that'll tell me I need to buy it because then it'll bring me into an awareness or into an answer that helps me, that helps me come into being or discovery for myself and clears away the doubt and the negativity. And I had conversation with the person that was working. I pet their dog, and I still wasn't finding any sense of clarity. And as I was wandering around the shop, it just slowly but surely it snuck up on me. After I stopped thinking about it, after I stopped worrying about finding the answer, the energy started to clear. And I found myself just starting to gain an awareness or a sense of calmness around what I was doing there, what I was doing here, period. And even though I didn't have the answer per se in that moment about what step I needed to take next, I still was just appreciative that the fog was starting to lift. And as soon as I started to acknowledge, oh, now the fog is starting to lift, my mind isn't spiraling, then it slowly but surely came to me. It felt almost as if like I got pushed or gently nudged into a new energy where I just felt more confident, where I felt more assured of what I was doing and why I was placed here. because then it became abundantly clear that my need to cater to somebody, or my need to figure it out, for the sake of building a relationship with somebody else, was irrelevant. What was really most important was that I felt good, that I felt confident in how I showed up for myself in the day. And as I'm even saying this out loud, the awareness is starting to grow and deepen further, because there's so much gratitude that I have for just being in that experience of not pushing for the answer, just simply letting the thought go and letting source, letting spirit just slowly but surely envelop me. And I'm sure that without a doubt, my spirit team was there too, of just gently nudging, gently encouraging, whispering in my ear, even though I may not have been trying to listen for them, just knowing that subconsciously, energetically, I was receiving what it was that they wanted for me to hear in that moment, what it was energetically my body, my vessel needed to receive in that moment. So I'm feeling this shift, and I'm feeling this awareness of, wait a minute, this isn't about them, this is about me. Wait a minute, I love what I do. I'm doing everything that I need to be doing right now. There is no wrong choice. There is only choices that I can take that'll bring me closer into alignment with what I'm here to become, or it will give me a new path or a new journey to take to then still come into alignment with what I need to do. And so, as I'm saying this out loud, even more, I'm starting to just drop the fear that I'm going to choose something wrong, that I'm going to do something that is going to make me falter or make me trip over myself. Perhaps it might make me, whatever I choose might give me a longer route to get to where I'm going, but I'm not going to suffer because of it. All of my suffering was done in addiction. All of my suffering was done when I was homeless. All of my suffering was done when I was trying to find, the strength to carry on and trying to figure out why my relationships were failing. All of that suffering has been completed. In this moment, as I'm sitting here and I'm able to reflect upon all of what I was thinking about last night and into today, I'm slowly but surely appreciating and slowly but surely acknowledging that because my suffering is over, I now have the ability to just enjoy the day to day. I get to take my time. I don't have to force or rush progress anymore, because the progress that I desperately needed to make was made the moment I chose to be sober. It was made the moment I chose to carry on with personal healing and personal growth. And so now that I've gone through that experience of addiction, now choosing sobriety, now choosing myself, I'm here sharing with you without any expectation of what is going to come, without any expectation of how I'm supposed to feel. And for once, I feel a little bit more liberated. So I share all that because I want you to consider for yourself, where in your life are you doing the overthinking and the overanalyzing because you're so desperate to have everybody else be so happy that you're choosing something better for yourself, that you're no longer harming yourself and other people. I feel like we get so caught up in trying to make a point of I'm okay that we don't give ourselves permission to enjoy our life. We get caught up in having to hurry up the progress because we want to appear on paper or on social media that we've got our shit together, when in reality, we're still trying to navigate what it's like to build a healthy lifestyle habit, such as getting up and going to bed at a decent time, making sure that we are drinking enough water, that we're eating healthy, that we're exercising, that we're minding our thoughts, that we're engaging in healthy dynamics with our friends, our loved ones, our family members, right? And even more so, forging an even stronger relationship with a power greater than ourselves, or source, or spirit, or our ancestors, our spirit team. Juggling all of that can be so overwhelming, and so it can feel like it's too much. And when we tack on the responsibility that isn't really ours to hold, of making sure other people see us better than how we see ourselves, or they see us better than how we once were, where we quickly approach the level of burnout. And that is not fair to ourselves. So gently, I offer a question, and offer us a moment for us to reflect of, in what capacity am I overgiving? In what capacity are we overgiving to people that are not the ones that have to wake up and go to bed with our choices that we have made? What capacity are we overgiving or oversharing to people who are not paying our bills, who are not feeding us, who are not clothing us, who are living their own lives, but instead are living vicariously through us because they want to, in some ways, control us, some ways, manipulate us, in some ways, just, you know, make sure that we are safe. And don't get me wrong, many of those people that we are hoping to do well by may have our interests are at heart when they are reaching out and asking, are we okay? Or just maybe peering at us a little bit more than we would like or expect them to, or their presence alone is making us aware that they are concerned, or they are hoping that something better has come along. Most likely they love us, they want us to be better, to do better, but it is not our responsibility to go out of our way and exhaust the self just simply so that way they feel better about how they are living their lives and how we are living our lives. So even with the consideration in mind, know that you don't have to force progress. You don't have to force yourself to do anything, really. The only understanding that I am finding in this moment to share with you is that we just get to show up. And the fact that we showed up while sober is enough. The fact that we are considering what can we do different is enough. The fact that we are considering how can we love ourselves a little bit more is enough. And then we get to give ourselves permission to hand over the reins to our higher power, to our spirit team, to our ancestors, to the ones that are in the spiritual realm, to assist us energetically as we find new choices to make that are still healthy for us. So yeah, I think that's really the soapbox that I wanted to get on tonight, because I am just filled with enough gratitude, and not enough, because there's always more I can have, but I'm just filled with gratitude for how this day went and where I'm finding myself settling, because it was a doozy. It was a doozy. If you find yourself in a place of feeling overwhelmed or just spiraling in your thoughts, I want to offer an opportunity that you can take, and a tool that you can put into your tool belt, or your toolbox, to take out when the time is right. Uh, and know that what I'm offering here, it doesn't have to be something you take as the holy grail. It doesn't have to be something that you resonate with, but it's just something that in the back of your mind you can store away for later, because truth be told, sometimes we think we know how to handle things, we know how to move through any rough circumstance, because we've seen a lot. We've done a lot in addiction. We may have overcome some legal challenges. We may have overcome some really rough situations with friends and family, to where we are resilient. We are determined. We are sole providers for ourselves. And having somebody tell us, "Oh, here's another thing you could use," feels redundant and unnecessary. But in those moments where we feel overwhelmed and it's not coming to the surface, maybe this might be something that, your spirit team or your higher self offers you, because options are helpful. Options are good things because trying something new that is healthy is always always something that can lead to positive and lasting change, right? And that's what we're here for. That is what we are here for. So, this offering that I'm giving you is just an ability to really ground and connect with Mother Gaia, Earth energy, and an ability for you to connect with Source or your higher self, right? And then we're also going to set um, we're going to set just an energetic uh, bubble around us so that way we can block out any extra energies or any extra thoughts that we may feel we're receiving from other people or from other places and spaces, so that way it'll give us the space to really just focus in on the self and be mindful of like what is me and what is them, what is the external here. All right. And so you can do this with me as I am speaking it aloud. You can watch and just observe. But whichever you choose to do, again, remember that this is another option, another tool that you can use. But I tend to do this first thing in the morning because it helps me ground in to the self. It helps me set the energy or the tone for the day. And I tend to do this whenever I'm feeling like, okay, I really need to check in with the self again. It's a great resource that, again, can be put into the toolbox. So I'll stop saying it's a great resource, it's a great tool. I can only advertise it so much. But what you're going to want to do is find a space where you can get your feet flat on the floor. And I'm sitting in a nice little chair here. And so something that hopefully you can place your back against and you can have your feet flat on the floor. All right. And hands can be in the lap or down by the side, whatever you choose. But eyes, I usually try to keep them closed. If you are someone that's like, oh no, I can't keep my eyes closed. I don't feel safe when I close my eyes. That's okay. Just gaze the eyes down to the floor and keep the eyelids just slightly closed. All right. We're just trying to block out any extra, sensations, so that way the focus can be strictly on the grounding and the centering, right? So, as your hands are in the lap and as the feet are firmly rooted to the ground, you're going to want to take in a nice deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Hold for just a moment or two, and then release that tension on the exhale. And you're going to do that one more time. A nice deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Just bring in the energy of positivity, the energy of love, the energy of cleansing, whatever feels right for you. You're going to breathe that in and hold for just a moment. Let it circulate in the body. And then release on the exhale, letting the shoulders drop, letting the body settle into the place in which you find yourself, right? And as you're allowing the body to settle, you're going to start practicing some mindfulness here, right? So we're going to notice the sensation of the feet touching the floor and maybe feeling the weight of the body on the chair or the surface beneath you. Maybe noticing the surface pressing back into you, maybe against the back, and maybe taking a moment to notice what you're hearing around you. Maybe it's the current of the air conditioner in the house, or maybe it's just the passing of cars on the street outside the house. Or maybe it's just simply noticing how the body is moving and adjusting to this stillness. And as you're noticing the sounds and noticing the sensations in the body, feeling the feet firmly planted on the ground and the body firmly supported by that surface beneath you, you're then going to notice for just a moment anything that needs to be adjusted. So maybe giving yourself permission to move a little bit, get yourself a little bit more comfortable, because you really want to just allow yourself to really ground in here. And then again, taking in a nice deep cleansing breath in and holding for just a moment or two. And then we're going to release on the exhale. And so now that you've given yourself permission to relax and just be present here with that sense of mindfulness, what you'll do is imagine or visualize in the mind or in the mind's eye, imagine, visualize, picture, or pretend that starting from the heart center is going to be an energetic cord. Imagine a rope almost. And we're shooting this rope or extending this rope from the heart center down past the lower abdomen, past the hips, into the thighs, into the knees, down past the calves, through the ankles, and out through the heels. And keep it going all the way down through the floor. Imagining this energetic cord just going down now, down, rooting you down into the center of the earth. And you're sending this awareness that you come from the earth, and to the earth you will return, at least this physical vessel of you. And allowing that energy to connect and to thank Mother Gaia, maybe sending in a sense of gratitude. And as you're noticing the energetic cord going deeper and deeper into the earth, at some point it'll reach the core. And you're going to imagine or visualize, picture or pretend in the mind's eye that it's starting to wrap around the core. It doesn't pull you down. It just anchors you right where you are. We're just imagining it anchoring you right where you are. And so sending some gratitude down through this energetic cord or this rope, letting you know that you are one with the earth. You're now going to give yourself permission to draw up some energy from the earth center up through that cord. So just imagine a nice gentle tug now. That your heart center allows you to take just a gentle tug, and it pulls up the energy of Mother Gaia through that cord all the way up into the heels now, past the ankles, past the calves, and into the knees, feeling with every breath now, with that gentle rise and fall of the chest, that the energy comes now through the thighs, up through the hips, and into the heart center. And here we may pause, and we're just going to allow ourselves to feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest, and noticing how Mother Gaia's energy is allowing you to feel grounded and rooted right where you are. Maybe there's a subtle shift in the weight, maybe feeling a little bit more heavier, maybe feeling perhaps a little bit lighter. Whatever you're feeling right now, it's right for you. There's no wrong way to feel. And giving ourselves permission to feel a sense of gratitude for how easy and effortless it may be, and it can be, for you to connect to this earth energy. And now what we're going to do here is give ourselves permission from the heart center to send yet another energetic cord, but this time we're going to shoot it up through the top of the head. So imagining this cord coming up now through the throat, up through the back of the head, connecting through the top of the head, through the crown. And imagine that it's this cord that kind of elongates the spine here, not forcing anything too much, not having to adjust posture just for the sake of adjusting posture, but noticing how the energy shifts the body, the vessel, and shoots it now out through the crown, out to connect to source. And you can imagine in the mind, visualize, picture, or pretend that source may be the sun, It can be a cloud, it can be up to a star somewhere up above. Connecting to an energy that is greater than the self, that is loving the self, is the place in which we originate from. Our souls come from this loving source energy. And so, how easy it is now to connect this energetic cord through the top of the head, out, 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 through the crown, and reaching that space and place that you visualize, picture, imagine, or pretend yourself connecting to. And you may notice that as we're sending this cord, that the energy shifts just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And allow yourself to give a sense of gratitude to Source, of noticing this energy shift, noticing you're connecting to an energy that loves you, that supports you, that wants to be present with you, that wants to just hold you in this space. And noticing the gratitude filling the body just a little bit more, still allowing yourself to keep breathing normally and naturally. And once you've noticed that this connection has been made, now giving yourself permission, just as we did before with connecting to earth energy, we're going to pull this energy back down into the body, the energy from source. And it may feel different from person to person. For me, it's nice to feel a little bit of a tingling sensation, a little bit of an energetic, like a buzz. You may notice that the energy around you starts to shift and change for the better, because now we're giving ourselves the permission to not only just connect to Mother Gaia, but now we've connected to the source of where we come from, and how good that feels. And so as you're allowing that energy to come into you, drawing it down back into the heart center, we can imagine or picture, visualize, or pretend this energy just swirling around in the heart center, mixing with that grounded earth energy. Maybe noticing how the energy swirls in a counterclockwise motion, or maybe in a clockwise motion, whichever is right for you, but just noticing how the energies mix so well. It's not like oil and water. No, this is a nice mixing of two energies that are meant for each other, that give the body, give the vessel a sense of feeling recharged and refreshed, renewed, invigorated. And as you're still connecting with the breath here, now what we're going to do is we're going to expand the energy that we are feeling inside the heart center to create that energetic protection or energetic bubble around the self. And what I like to do is just imagine that with every breath in, I'm drawing in the energy just a little bit more from both Source and Mother Gaia, and on the exhale, I'm blowing energy like a bubble, and it's expanding outward around my body. So with every breath in, I'm drawing in that energy from Source and from Mother Gaia, and on every exhale out, I'm expanding that energetic protection around me even more. And imagine that this energetic protection, it's like a translucent bubble. You can see in and out of it. Energy can pass in and out of it, but it only allows for the energy that serves you, the words of encouragement, the loving support that supports you to come in, and the energy that you need to send out appropriately to leave as well. So this bubble creating a nice energetic barrier between yourself and the external environment. Again, with every breath in, we're drawing in that energy from Source and Mother Gaia, and with every exhale out, we're allowing that energy, that energetic bubble, to expand even more than before. And then when you're comfortable, just allowing the self to visualize, imagine, picture, or pretend that that bubble has expanded itself just enough to be maybe 2 inches outside of the body. We don't want it too wide and we don't want it too close, but maybe 2 to 3 inches outside of the body, whichever is right for you. And then giving one last deep cleansing breath in and another gentle exhale out, releasing and relaxing, you can come to open your eyes. And that is a wonderful way to round out that practice of grounding and centering, connecting to the energies that love and support you while also maintaining a healthy energetic boundary. And then from there, you can move into a nice grounded meditation. You can ask the questions that you need to ask of yourself, of your higher self. And and you can always switch it up too. You don't always have to just connect to source. You can imagine that energetic cord of connecting to your higher self, the version of self that knows all of what is in your best interest, a version of yourself that helped orchestrate what things and events you would go through in this lifetime. You can connect to your spirit team. You can connect to your guides, right? But always remember to set the intention that when you are sending that energetic cord up through the crown of your head, that you are connecting with energies that are here to serve your highest good. You can't just, I don't advise just saying, okay, I'm connecting my energy up through the crown of my head and just leaving it at that, because then the intention doesn't help ground and root the connection into what you most need. It may, you might connect to any other energies, and I won't go into detail about that, not in this episode, not in this video, but specifically what I want you to be mindful of is connecting with intention of things, energies specifically, source energy that is there to support your highest good at the time, okay? And then you'll find that throughout the rest of your day, you could walk with a little bit more clarity. At the very least, what we're doing is giving the body, the vessel, an opportunity to calm down, to reset, to ground itself, and know that it is safe because you're taking the time to breathe, you're taking the time to be still, you're taking the time to go inward, and hopefully, whatever it was that you were spiraling or overthinking or overgiving about, you will have given yourself permission to not do that. You will have given yourself permission to find alternative methods of returning the energy back to self, right? So, all that being said, we are going to do, I want to give you a nice little send off of some things that maybe you could think of tonight or through the rest of your day tomorrow that might be helpful to expand on in your sobriety. Because, one thing that I love about being sober is that now I have a clear minded space to be able to choose things that I really want to do. I have the ability to think through challenges that with a clear mind rather than doing it erratically because I'm so preoccupied in trying to run away from a problem, to run away from any kind of challenge or circumstance. So I have a couple of cards here, and I'm just going to choose one at random. I'm not really going to shuffle. I think today we just want to focus on pulling a card that allows us, and I'm going to set the intention here, Source Spirit, what is one thing that we can think about between now and tomorrow that'll give us room to be kind to ourselves, that'll give us room to love the self a little bit more. Not saying that we're wanting to be called out, or maybe this is a safe space where we can call ourselves out, but something that we can healthily and safely navigate on our own between now and tomorrow. I think this one will do it. Ooh, this is good. Love. Love. Kindness, benevolence, sharing, and receiving. And when I want you to take a look at this card as I am allowing them to just come in now here. This is so interesting. So what I'm hearing from them right now is this is more than just choosing self-love. This because we've already gone over that topic so many times. You hear it so much, especially in sobriety, of finding ways to love the self. And you've already started that journey by choosing to be sober, by choosing to put down the habits that no longer serve you. But in this card right now, what they're encouraging us to consider is how can we allow Source, Spirit, our higher power to love us? Already they've shown us how much they love us by allowing us to still be here. Because Lord knows how many times I prayed, how many times I just pleaded and begged at the ends of, coming down off a high, that I would just live another day because I really would be beside myself. I would think that, you know, I I wasn't going to be able to live another day. I was going to just suddenly have a heart attack and die. I thought that I had made so many poor choices that at this point that they had given up on me. But in those moments, we were shown grace. We were shown unconditional love. And this isn't a sharing of think about how much they love us to make you feel bad or make you feel guilty or ashamed for why you are still here. This is a reminder that they love you. You are here because they love you and they want you to love you just as much. Um, there are no strings attached to the capacity for which love is bestowed from Source. We are shown love through the connections that we make on the daily. We are shown love through the opportunities we get to take when we're having fun or when we're trying something new. And really what they're reminding us and what they're sharing with me right now on love is that we've loved you before and we will love you again. And all you have to do is ask for us to show you how we do love you. It's like they're saying, like, girl, we want to bless you. We want to spoil you. We want to congratulate you for choosing yourself. And so the curiosity that we have for us today, as we move through tonight, the rest of the night and tomorrow, until we see each other again, the curiosity they have is, how will you let us love you? And if you don't know, you're allowed to ask. So maybe going into meditation, the question to ask the self, to reflect on, is, how do you want to love me? How can I be loved? Show me how good it can get. And if I am here right now being able to ask this question, that means there's something that needs to be shown to me. So that way I can continue on the path of fulfilling my purpose, my mission, I can continue my soul journey of growth. So in order for me to do those things, there has to be some semblance, some awareness of how I am loved. Because I don't want to keep doing something and not feel supported. I don't want to keep showing up for a job, right? I don't want to keep showing up for an experience when it feels like there's no end to the means, there's no point. So show me, Spirit, show me, Source, how can you love me? How can I be loved? And in asking that question, also maybe ask for a sign to let you know when they are speaking to you directly, because sometimes we can go out and about and ask the question or ask for some clarity on something or a sign, and then it shows up and we have no idea. So maybe asking for something specific, like a purple monkey. That is very specific. So maybe doing like a purple monkey or a blue, like do a color and something very specific that you will know it's right for you. Like that is your sign. For me, I know what my sign is going to be, but that's how I'll know, how we will know that we are being shown love. And let me know in the comments, like, what is your sign in particular, and then maybe even let me know like what showed up for you, because I'd love to know. I'd love to have conversation. So hopefully tonight was a good reflective night for you. Hopefully you got some good nuggets. Remember, take everything that I say with a sense of just loving conversation, right? I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just simply sharing for what works for me and what is coming through for me. And if it feels right for you, then take it. And if it doesn't, then leave it behind. But know that everything that I offer here today, I offer because I have always set the intention for myself that I just want to be of service. I just want to be a friend. I just want to be someone that shows up for myself so that way other people may know how they can show up for themselves as well. Hopefully that resonated with you. If you haven't heard it today, know that I love you. And always remember to be kind to your mind. My name is Joseph Nix. I'm a spiritual practitioner. It was an honor and a privilege, and I'll see you next time.